Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to the Sex, Drugs, and Jesus podcast. I am your host. My name is Devanin, and I love having each and every last one of you here with me today. Heaven's blessings shine down upon you here through a fabulous fucking weekend as we get ready to roll out into it. Today is Friday, the 7th of July at approximately 11:14 in the morning Central Time here in these United States. And I'm coming to you with a word today of, I don't know if I would call this encouragement, reprimand, or would. Kind of talking about some shit I'm pissed off about in relation to parenting and community and things of that nature. So we'll see how this goes and see how you feel about it by the time that I'm done. If you don't like something I say, oh well. That's not my fucking problem. But a large part of my ministry is to preach the unpopular opinion. If you're mature and disciplined, then you can accept what I have to say or what anybody tells you that's a true challenge. If you're a weak little bitch, or I could say it a little bit differently, if you haven't come as far down your path or you're not as far along on your journey as others are, then perhaps your feelings are going to get hurt. We can try saying it like that. My website is sexdrugsandjesus.com. Check it out. Also, my retail line is at downunderapparel.com. Thank you all for your blessings and for supporting my businesses. And like I said, may God smile upon you. So let me start this off. I was reading the book of Proverbs the other day, Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15. I got my opera glasses out for those of you not watching on social media or on YouTube because, honey, I have to read. I have to read. And, as Mama RuPaul always says, bitch, reading is fundamental. And so let me see here. Yes, honey. Yes. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15 says that a rod and a reprimand impart wisdom, but a child left to himself, being undisciplined, disgraces and brings shame to his mother. Let me read that again, because these things I'm reading here are going to be echoed throughout this particular lesson I'm about to teach y'all. Put my glasses back on, bitch. Hold up. Yes. A rod and a reprimand impart wisdom, but a child left to himself, being undisciplined, disgraces and brings shame to his mother. So what does that speak to? Parents letting their children run fucking wild, not paying attention to where the hell they're going and who the hell they're hanging out with. Okay. One day that shit's gonna come back to you and you're gonna look like a fucking fool for not having monitored your child. It's like this brand of parenting these days it's like people think that the more freedom that they give their children to go run out and do whatever, like that's love. No, it's not. You gotta stay on top of your damn children, especially with all these options they have. If you don't, they'll be consumed with those options and they're not gonna ask you for help in a lot of circumstances. Now let me see. The second thing, and then this is the last thing, this comes from GameRant.com. I was watching John Wick 4 the other day, and they did not give me my life. That whole John Wick series, if y'all haven't seen it, I need you to watch it. Them movies are some of the greatest fucking movies ever made. I've seen a lot of action kick-assery movies, but it's something about the way Keanu Reeves circumnavigates all of the goddamn fucking moves and karate chop shits and yeah, it's almost gives me like a country western feel meets the Matrix meets some completely new shit, and it's yes, 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 all of that. It's one of the few movies that I have only ever watched alone. I do not watch those movies with other people. I have John Wick all to myself. Anyway, this line comes from John Wick 4, and it says that friendship means little when it's convenient. Friendship means little when it's convenient. This line was said by Shimazu, the manager of the Osaka branch of the Assassin's Guild. He tells John that no matter what, he has his back, even if that means he is going to die alongside his hotel. We'll call him Boss Shimashu, is a man of honor and a badass samurai too. This here speaks to the fact that being a friend to somebody is not just sitting around having good, happy, smiley time, smoking weed, going out drinking, staying at home playing video games, going fishing, whatever the fuck it is you do with your friends. It means little when it's convenient. Your friends need you the most when they're making bad decisions and when they're in trouble. One of the things that pissed me off a lot about from my past is when I got HIV and begin to deconstruct and everything, the friends that I quote unquote thought I had, who I used to do all the fucking drugs and go out and dancing with, that was our brand of fun. We weren't into other shit. You know, we like to go out and twirl. But when shit got real, they were nowhere to be found. They had nothing to say. Okay, bitch, that's when I really needed a friend. So anybody can be a fair weather friend when shit's good, but do you have the balls to challenge your friend and to tell them when they making wrong decisions? Can you handle it if they tell you to go fuck off? Will that cause you to reevaluate your friendship? When's the last time you actually challenged your friend? Boston Marshall got that shit figured out. See, God be speaking to us through movies and shows and music. The shit's not just entertainment. You got to open your ears to hear what the Spirit is saying to you through the things that you choose to engage in. Positive things, not the bullshit you be out there doing, but through the positive things that you're doing. God is right there talking to you, but y'all got to start paying attention to Him, or else you're gonna fall into a lot of trouble in this life, a lot of avoidable trouble that didn't have to happen. I know I've been there before. If you haven't read my book, you can check that out. I listed all of the trouble and a lot of the bullshit ass bad decisions that I made that led to it. I be trying to warn people, but sometimes it'd be like they don't hear me though. So I've been spending a lot of time thinking about, situations that have happened over the years. And it's like this most recent bullshit that has happened with the ex. Now, yo, I'm over the dude. He's like a figment of the past. If it weren't for this show, I would not be talking about him. Trust me when I tell you, I do not sit around thinking or talking about that damn manipulating, lying ass dude. But what I came to realize is that the situation not only that brought a lot of healing to me, and and for those of you who may not know what I'm talking about, go back and look at some of the previous shows. I broke up with a very terrible person at the beginning of this year, and yet it was a catastrophic first, 6 months of this year because of everything that unfolded. I ended up in a mental hospital and had to file bankruptcy, and all kinds of shit went down, bitch. But but it was a blessing because it broke me free from a lot of restraints that I didn't realize that I had on my life. And some people call it a karmic cycle. You can go and look up what that means, but it's time for y'all to get spiritual, y'all, because a lot of the problems you're dealing with are not physical in nature. They present in a physical way, but everything that we do starts as a thought in our mind, an inclination in our heart, and then it turns into something physical, an action you went and did, something that you said, perhaps something that you did not do. But all of it starts, in here, in the mind and in the soul. So everything is really energy and spirit at the end of the day. And that's how I've begun to look at everything. Everything I went through with the ex is like a microcosm from how can I say this? I learned a lot of lessons about how to look at things spiritually. So I've taken a more like high level view. Okay. So you have different levels of living, different advancements in life. Like I was saying, People who are open to constructive criticism are further along on their journey than people who are not. So you have people at different fucking levels of shit. And so what I'm trying to tell you to do is to pay attention to what level people are at. And if they're not operating at a level that is congruent to the level that you're on, or at the very least isn't holding you back, and for fuck's sake, not stagnant. We don't deal with stagnant energy either. Okay. Then you might have to disentangle yourself from them. I do not rejoice over having to leave people behind. I don't clap my hands like they teach you to do in some churches. I don't rejoice and hop up and down. It's fucking pitiful. We could have all grown together. We could have all moved forward together. But you had some people who just refused to change, were slow about changing, casual about God, and just I just really can't figure out people who have such like a low motivation in life. I know I'm kind of tired of hearing some people talk about their depression and all of this sad shit because it's like old shit. It's like not even anything fucking new that they're bitching about. You know, about decades old shit in some cases. I don't attend like the narcissistic recovery groups and the codependent and all of that and all of the different groups that I was doing at the beginning of the year because I don't fucking need the shit anymore. I don't think that I'm doing too bad about 5, 6 months from a 4.5 year, relationship with that type of person that I was with to have the clarity of mind that I present you with today. But what I fucking was not gonna do was be one of those damn people moping about some ex years down the fucking road. Some of those people in those narcissistic recovery groups, narcissistic abuse recovery groups, these people been away from these the motherfucking dudes for like 5, 10 years and they still sitting in these fucking groups. Look, just because the saying goes in mental health circles that you can't rush healing, bitch, that don't mean you need to slow troll the shit either. Okay, what the fuck are you still doing whining about some shit some dude did 5 fucking years ago? Like, at this point, bitch, you just don't fucking wanna move on. You've gotten comfortable with that damn trauma. You bonded with the fucking trauma. It's like you became, "Nah, mm-mm." When I broke up with that motherfucker, I said to myself then, I said, "Okay, we gonna get this shit over fast." Admittedly, I tried to rush the healing too fucking quick. I tried to rush it. Then I had to slow down and accept, do a lot of fucking radical acceptance, and I educated myself. So I'm saying all this to say everything that I went through with the ex and stepping back and studying the community around him, his parents, his friends, I began to really, really think about how in the hell could a person be capable of the things, that not just the ex, because unfortunately I hear stories about the sort of shit that he did, globally. How can people like him come to exist? Where and they say a lot of this shit goes wrong in childhood. A lot of us experience trauma in childhood. We don't all turn into stark raving sociopathic narcissists. Okay. So there's some level of choice in this shit somewhere. Okay. I was sexually molested as a child, physically beat as a child, verbally abused as a child, grew up in abject poverty, waking up with like bullet holes in the walls and shit, syringes floating down the street, crack houses on every other house. Okay. Maybe like a 400 square foot house with 5 people in it, bitch. 5 shirts, 5 pa I mean, no kitchen, no kitchen table. I used to eat on the floor. That was fucking kitchen table. I'm not complaining, but what I'm saying is I didn't turn into a goddamn narcissist. I didn't turn into a motherfucking sociopath, and turn into a psychopath. I ain't Machiavellian. I don't have none of those fucking issues. So so what these people choose to go and do is inexcusable. I'm gonna read their parents for filth today too, along with their fucking friends, because I had to really, really process and deal with some anger as I was going through all of this, and I was like, "How could this shit have been missed in these people?" Where did it go wrong? Were the parents not paying enough attention? Were the friends not challenging them enough? Of course, people lie and try to act like they're better than what they are. Can we not see through our friends' lies? Do we not really know when we being bullshitted? Or are we choosing to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear? Look, I couldn't save Judas, and none of you could save the Judas Iscariots in your life, whoever it was that cheated and betrayed on you, who cheated on you and betrayed you. But damn it, we can learn from those motherfuckers. They're a microcosm of how God looks at the world and the problems that we have in this world. So we must learn. We must learn. What we've been through will not be swept under a rug. And I feel like today I speak for every woman, and I guess some men too, who have been on the receiving end of bullshit from any type of abuse, be it physical, narcissistic, sociopath, whatever. What can we learn from this? Think about Jeffrey Dahmer, my friend Demi Wild from the Hook Horror Stories podcast. He and I did a combo show when Netflix docuseries came out about Jeffrey Dahmer. You know, his dad, of course, Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer who liked to lure homosexual men home and then kill them and cut them up and literally have them for dinner. And I'm gonna warn y'all, that shit still happens today. A lot of gays go missing when they go to meet up with these strangers. Fuck a grinder, fuck a jack, that other damn thing. Fuck Adam for Adam, fuck all of those apps. Okay, bitch. Just people still get hurt. They're not going to tell you if some bullshit happens to them when they were out trying to get their freak on or they had some fool over to their house. They're gonna tell you that. People just kinda go missing off of those apps and you just don't see them anymore. You don't think anything of it, but bitch, that's gonna be you. That's gonna be you one day if you keep up the bullshit and the drama. And, but, in this documentary, Jeffrey Dahmer had this thing about, torturing, killing fucking animals and shit, and his dad knew about that and, like, kinda, like, basically helped him with it, okay? So what could his dad have done differently? There was a lot of fighting and arguing that happened in front of Jeffrey Dahmer too, but I didn't really see where there was a whole lot of emphasis put on trying to figure out what the fuck was going on inside of Jeffrey Dahmer's head. There was a lot of the parents paying more attention to their life than that kid. Sometimes the cues that children give are quite fucking, are quite fucking subtle, and you might miss it if you're not really slowing down and paying attention. And look, I know I don't like have children, but I do have 2 cats, bitches, okay? One is 4 years old, one is 6, okay? And you can't tell me that a motherfucking cat is not a child. I might not send them to school, but the way they look me in my eyes, communicate what they want. Mind you, my cats have the ability to tell me what they want better than most men that I've met in my life, to include the ex. Actually, all of my fucking exes. Okay? My fucking cats are better communicators than those trifling ass dudes. But I digress. Oh, that was a little bit petty, but it was also true. Oh well, deal with it. And but I know my fucking cats. I know their dark side, and I know what they're good at. What kind of dark side could a cat say, mind you? Well, I know that they hop on my counters when I'm not here. I've monitored this on my camera situation in my house and stuff. I find their little fur trails, you know, up on my countertops and shit. Things that I have on elevated cabinets be knocked over. I know what they be doing when I'm not here. Okay. I know my children. They bring in these lizards and other unfortunate creatures that they go and find from some fucking where. And they don't do these creatures the courtesy of murdering them. They basically treat them like a narcissist, and they kind of just, like, slash the thing, looking like Freddy Krueger. Jason Voorhees got a hold of these damn insects and I don't interfere. I just sit here and watch this play out, blood running down their fucking manes and shit. And they won't kill the fucking lizard or whatever. They'll just like slash at it and torture it, cut its tail off, maybe a couple feet. And then they just play with it just like they do a Petco toy. They just like they just torture the thing. So my cats are cute, fluffy, and cuddly. They're also vicious as lizard torturers too, who get on my counters and knock shit over when I'm not here. And I make space for both. Okay. To the extent of the creatures that are under my control, I know what the fuck my kids be doing when they're with me, when they're fucking not around me. Okay, and I accept both sides of them. Now, this is not some life-changing shit or nothing like that, but I don't have an over glorified view of what my cats are capable of doing. You know, I know their bad habits and their good habits, and I can accept that shit. My prayer is that when I do go buy me a kid in the next couple of years, that I maintain this same objectivity so that I can be accepting if someone tells me something about my child, but more importantly, to pay fucking attention myself and don't let things that are incongruent just slip by me because that's the spirit or the universe or whatever you want to fucking call it telling you that some shit ain't right. We must not ignore our intuition. You be knowing when shit's wrong with your children. We got to pay attention to that. Jeffrey Dahmer was an alcoholic in high school too, if I'm remembering correctly. People be having like congruent problems happening. A lot of the craziest people in this world with the sickest tendencies are also like addicted to shit too. Like you really, 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 really got to watch that. And the Dahmer, I think he killed his first victim like 3 fucking weeks out of high school. This dude was like a teenager still when he started butchering people. Crazy does not know a certain age, bitch. Okay, you could be any fucking age. So I'm thinking like, had Jeffrey Dahmer's dad, mom, some fucking body done something more, could that death have been avoided? Could that death have been avoided? I think parents don't see the truth in their children because they don't see it in themselves. You have a lot of parents, okay? Yeah, let me put my reading glasses on for this part. There are a lot of parents out here, honey. Yes, I'm looking at each and every last one of you bitches who have not done the work, okay? You have not done the work that it takes to monitor yourself and pay attention to who the fuck you are, and therefore you cannot help your own child in that way. You cannot give away what you don't have. You cannot give away what you don't have. So if you as a parent don't know how to really look into yourself, isolate your own problems and say, these are my issues, this is what I did to work on them, and this is how I've overcome. When your child comes up against shit, it's very unlikely you're going to be able to assist them in that. Kudos to you for giving your child food, clothing, shelter, way too many damn electronics, and way too much fucking freedom. But what about the emotional aspect, the mental aspect, the spiritual aspect? Some of you are devoid of spiritual understanding. You know not God. You know anything about him, and your children don't either. And therefore, a lot of them don't have a fucking conscious. They don't have like this concept of comeuppance, karma, payback. Okay, they don't think about the afterlife. They labor under the delusion that they're guaranteed to get old. Okay, people die at every age, every day. You stupid if you think you must turn 30 or you must turn 40 or 50 or whatever. Bitch, you don't know. Tomorrow is not promised. And the way a lot of y'all squander your life, let me not even much go down that path. So then basically you got people having children for all kinds of fucking reasons, but they fall short of the ability to nurture that child. It is not the church's primary responsibility to teach your child about God. There's no fucking reason why all their instruction, or at least the core of it, should not be coming from within that household. Okay. But as long as we're living, we can start all over again. Is that my favorite song by Dave Call says, so if you're a parent and you done fucked up in this particular area, you get on your knees and start praying, start learning about God, start learning about something. Okay. Because like I said at the beginning of this, everything is energy. A lot of the problems that you and your children are dealing with are not physical in nature. They're completely spiritual, totally emotional. You're dealing with the unseen. You don't have skills in the unseen. Okay. You have grown in whatever you have invested time in. So y'all know how to make money. You know how to go out and have sex. You know how to have all these dates and things like that. You know how to travel. You know how to work out. You know how to get an education. None of that has anything to do with the Holy Ghost. Specifically. None of that has anything to do with Jesus Christ, the archangels, God, none of it. Ancestors, ascended masters, all of that is earthly shit that you've mastered. And so now you're only like one half because your spiritual side is like dead. And now your children got spiritual fucking problems and you coming up short and you don't even fucking know what to do. And so I'm not laughing at you. It's just that this shit gets so crazy after a point that all I can do is laugh. I just don't know. I mean, I just can't do any fucking thing else with it. I think about in my memoir, you know, Rico, what's his real name in life? Fuck it, he's dead now, so I might as well say the shit. I was 15, he was something like 22. I was the altar boy in that church, and he was the choir director. Now, I don't complain about anything that's happened in my life. I'm thankful everything went the way it did because if I were to erase anything bad that happened, then I would not be this spiritually evolved and emotionally mature version of myself that is presented before you today. So I can't remove the drama and the trauma. I needed to stay. However, there are certain dynamics that I choose to analyze. How in the fuck had nobody noticed a 20-something-year-old man grooming a 15-year-old kid? Were the adults blind? Did they not notice us disappearing in the middle of service to go to the back of church, kiss each other and make out? No one noticed these things? You know, the the late night phone calls and shit, that I know my parents were aware of. Why not become more aggressive? Like that, I wish they would have challenged me harder. I would tell them, like, I think my mom would be like, "What are y'all in there talking about?" I'd be like, "Oh, church business, child. We wasn't talking about no Jesus. He was teaching me things about the gay life." So my mom just let me just straight up fucking lie to her. You know, she just let me fucking lie to her. Honey, your teenage children are, it's possible that they might actually lie to you. Okay. I would hope not. But, they're doing some shit that they don't want you to know. You're gonna have that inclination. You have to press your children on this shit. I wish my mom would have pressed me harder on this. See, like a lot of y'all parents are afraid of inconveniencing your child. You don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to see them hurt or get upset. Bitch, that's a part of motherfucking life. And your goddamn children need access to the full emotional spectrum of the human existence. And it's not all about getting every fucking thing we want and having every bitch ass thing we think we have to have all the damn time. The concept of delayed gratification, delaying it forever fucking long it takes you to get your fucking mind right, and going without is completely lost on this world today. They don't understand the power of no. But like Madonna said, creation comes when you learn to say no. Unless you start to say no to the shit you used to say yes to, you will not grow. It is gonna be awkward and shit at first, but it is awkward going through a birth canal. It's fucking uncomfortable. But somebody should have said something. Somebody should have noticed some shit. What parents out there, what the fuck are you noticing? Okay, that your children are doing in your heart, you know the shit ain't right, but you haven't really said anything. What are you giving them like time to figure it out? No, bitch. That's when your child needs you the fucking most. There shouldn't be no secrets. Not that there's really anything as secrets, because everything that's dark becomes light, and everything is spread out like a tablecloth before the Lord. And the Lord looks into the darkness just like it's light. There are no secrets. There are no real secrets. Only the self delusion of secrets. That is when your kid needs you the most. Transparency exposes things, and we can handle it. We can grow and be strong and move the fuck on. But secrets just make problems grow, and them bitches fester. And then by the time you realize anything, you got this huge Goliath ass problem that didn't have to be if you would have stamped that shit out when it was first festering and growing. You know, so why do I seem like angry about this? Because a part of me, I had to grapple with the anger. I was like, I wonder if the ex's friends and family, not that they're accountable for his choices. He's 100% accountable for his own shit, and he will bear vehemently and heavily bear like fire and brimstone from heaven type type of karma. Bear, bitch, like swords in his soul. He will bear the karma for what he put me through, because I'm not to be played with like that. Okay, it's not gonna come from me, it's gonna come from the Holy Ghost. And can't nobody deliver anybody out of God's hands. No witch, no witchcraft, no none of that can break Christ's power. Nevertheless, I had to deal with anger of thinking, just like with Jeffrey Dahmer's parents, just like with my own parents, if somebody had stepped in sooner, could the bullshit have been avoided? People have children that they don't necessarily monitor and pay close enough attention to, then these people go out into the world and start fucking people over. So that my anger tracked back from the ex to his parents, to his friends, and wondering, did they see some shit that maybe they didn't bother to investigate deep? Don't know. I haven't asked them. I'm not going to. 'Cause I don't really want to fucking talk to nobody attached to the ex, right now. I wonder if any of you have processed, emotions of anger like that before, when somebody has really, really did you dirty, really fucking did you fucking dirty, and that shit may track back to their childhood, and you like, God damn it. I wonder, I wonder if anybody could have like caught this shit, and maybe I wouldn't have had to go through the bullshit. But again, past it. I'm just putting this out there, see what you can do with it. Speaking of Rico, because Rico, that same choir director, he used to like to go out and try to give people AIDS and shit. There is something, mm, about people when they are sad and depressed and they got these fucking warring mental health issues. Some people do like I did when I got HIV, and I just blamed myself for everything, and I just went to go like die quietly somewhere. And some people get like Rico did. That bitch got fucking angry and decided that he was gonna take out everybody else with him. Okay. Of course, he died at like 24, because in order to give people AIDS, it means you have to let yourself perish in the process to have enough viral load. You destroy yourself while you're destroying other people. Narcissists and sociopaths are the same fucking way. And because you have to be consumed by negative energy in order to go out there and hurt folks. But I met this girl in a clothing store here. Oh, and she was just so heartbroken. I'm really flattered and complimented and delighted and humbled that this spirit that God has given me causes people to open up and tell me all kinds of personal things. People who I'd just be meeting, and I'm able to give them a word of peace, and to help them. Oh, but she was just so heartbroken. But she told me that her brother, who is a gay man, is he is very fucking hot. Apparently, likes to go out and have sex with people and give them diseases. She didn't really get into, like, his mental health profile or why. She was just, like, crying because she just hated the fact that he's out there hurting people intentionally. He has options. He can go get his first of all, he can stop being a hoe and stop contracting fucking diseases, and people don't wanna do that. People wanna have sex all the fucking time. Why? To hide their emotions and not deal with anything. Or he can deal with whatever has him angered, or he can go sit still. So he has options, but his choice is to go and destroy people. And she knows he's doing this. And I just got this feeling like she hadn't been able to share this with anybody. And she told this to me and that we had us a conversation. No, I didn't ask the identity of who he is because that don't matter. Like I said, everything is energy and spirit. This is nothing more than the devil reaching through some weak ass person to go and hurt unsuspecting people. As I've stated before, people are conduits of dark. They could be conduits of light. I am a light worker. I don't go about trying to destroy people. You have people who are the exact opposite of me, who love nothing more than to go find someone to fucking hurt. So I need you to mature and just accept the fact that this is the way the world works. It is what it is. Okay. I'm also reminded I was talking to some nurses at a medical clinic not too long ago, and they were recounting to me there's this doctor here in fucking Baton Rouge, bitch. Both of these people in fucking Baton Rouge. And Baton Rouge is a nasty ass city. I don't date in Baton Rouge. I don't have sex in Baton Rouge. Fuck. I don't like that's like having sex is like so not important to me right now. My mental fucking healing and everything is important. But whenever I do start doing it again, it won't be in this fucking city because these dudes are just fucking nasty and trifling. They just are in the gay community. And I'm not talking about bisexual dudes. I'm not talking about because I don't really know. All I know is that there's a lot of sickness and a lot of fucking disease in this city, a lot of negativity, a lot of angry, secretly angry now, bitter ass queens and men and every fucking thing in between running around. These people are not resolving their issues. Okay. I know this. I party with them. I've had sex with them. I've hung out with them. And now that I stepped away from them, I can see them circumspectly for what they really are. Okay. These nurses were telling me how this doctor, fucking medical doctor, goes out and gives people diseases whenever his boyfriend leave him because he's a fucking narcissistic asshole. So he always gets left by people. And, and so what he likes to go do is he's a sex addict too. So sex addicts and narcissists are very shame based. They hate themselves. Instead of going to fix themselves, they go out and do more torturous things to other people and they turn around and feel bad about it. Just think Gollum from the Lord of the Rings. Somebody so obsessed with some shiny fucking object that's really always outside of their reach. In this case, being the perfect fucking image that they think they have to live up to, which nobody has levied upon them but themselves, which they ain't never gonna get. That is the ring, perfection, it's power. Everything that you're not, you need to look to God for that, not you. You have power, but you don't have all power. Okay. And you are already beautiful the way you are, but you have this start, you're looking through darkness, dark colored glasses, and that's why you can't see yourself for what you really are. But his Smeagol's obsession caused him to perish and hurt other people and fuck over other people because he could only be singularly focused on what he wanted. And this is how narcissists are. That is how sex addicts are. They make a really big deal out of things that are only supposed to have a certain controlled place in our lives. They allow themselves to be consumed in that until there's nothing left of them, until they are no more. And and this doctor, so that his boyfriend leave him, he gets all sad. Again, can't deal with the regular human range of emotions. Sadness and rejection is a part of the human experience, bitch. Doesn't give you a right to go out and hurt people. Okay. Grow the fuck up. Okay. Sit on your ass somewhere. Alone time is important. people have so much fucking anxiety that they cannot sit fucking still. Well, they don't want to sit still because then all that fucking dirt that they've done catches up with them in their minds and they got to go find some human to go bury their fucking darkness in or to suck energy out of. But when God get ready, your karma is gonna find you, bitch, and there's no rock you can crawl under to hide from the Most High, God. Okay, it talks about that in the Book of Revelation. It speaks about it like as Christ's return. People literally trying to hide under rocks and shit to hide from God, but you can't. Okay, you can't. When God's ready, you gonna pay for everything you've done. Period. So when this doctor gets he goes out, have sex with these people because he's feeling bad because he got rejected, gives these people diseases. Then when he's done doing his hoeing, uh, then he comes back and tells his nurses to give him antibiotics and shit. I ain't a snitch. I don't believe in snitching, but I do know that, and I learned this from these nurses that you can call like the Department of Health or some shit like that and report people who are intentionally spreading diseases and shit like that. I wish they had something like this for COVID. I thought long and hard about reporting that trifling ass ex of mine who's out there giving people fucking COVID and shit, cheating and whatnot. I mean, somebody want to go sell crystal meth or heroin or whatever. Okay, I ain't telling that. But, because people who want to use that are adults. They're doing what the fuck they want to do. I mean, I have sympathy for a heroin addict tied off shooting up drugs on the corner of Main Street than a fucking sex addicted fucking sociopath who's intentionally fucking giving people diseases with no conscience. I feel like those people need to be stopped because it's akin to murder to me. You don't have the right to go and give people a disease, especially the way these people talk about people. It's like they refer to people they have sex with. They'll say shit like that person doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care anything about them. That's what they that's how they say. The ex said that. He ain't the only person. I've heard several people say that. Do you understand? People are willing to get naked with you, have sex with you, have you over to their house. You can go over that you will have them over to yours. These people fucking hate you, but they're willing to sleep with you. Imma talk later on in this about the dangerous energies that you all are exposing yourself to, and you don't know. You have a lot of people who practice magic and spiritual things out there, and they are twisting your minds up. You don't understand what's happening to you, and you don't know God, so you have no way out of it. Okay, that was a huge digression, but, you can call the Department of Health apparently and report people. And apparently they send like the white van over to their house or some shit like that. Some type of way, the powers that be have a way of investigating this shit. Okay. And a lot of it happens because there's no excuse for the STD rates to be so fucking high here in Louisiana like they are. But when you have a bunch of miserable, bitter, unhappy ass people, then you have a lot of intentional spreading of disease that's happening. Again, I don't fuck with people in Baton Rouge anymore. I've had enough of this bullshit. I think about when I was with the ex, how I used to try to challenge him, and of course, like a narcissist, he would take everything personal. What that doesn't really piss me off so much these, right, anymore. What I got to thinking about was why the fuck am I the first person to challenge him? The concept of of straightening out one's ways of living or perhaps living with some modicum of restraint was so alien and foreign to him. It occurred to me, I don't think that this is like the conversation that he's been having with, his parents or friends. Yeah, for somebody to be damn near 30 years old and to recoil at a rebuttal or at the thought that they could be wrong. again, with somebody you can but offer advice and, and the challenge and to love somebody through challenging them, and they may still be hard-headed and go do whatever. But the reactions, okay? I remember I was at home, with him in his home state, and after years of being with him, and he called his mother stupid. That was the same time he called the dog insignificant. I sat at the kitchen table, I sat at the kitchen table back there in Snellville, Georgia, waiting on the dad or the brother, some damn body, somebody to say something. I'm like, "He just called his mama stupid?" Not like playfully, like with fucking malice, with meanness, with, just a vileness to it that I couldn't quite I don't think my conscious mind I don't know, my mind was I did not see that coming. I don't think my mind was ready to accept that. People can hide who they truly are for a long time, bitch. Excuse me, but nobody challenged him. I'm like, so this dude is able to walk throughout his childhood home, insult his mother, the dogs and everything. This is accepted behavior in his household. And it is true what they say. If a dude ain't nice to his mama, he ain't gonna be nice to you. Bitch, I lived through this shit. Trust me. He ain't. He don't give a fuck about her, he give a fuck about you. And and I'm just like trying to process this. And so I'm thinking that I'm right. That there was no, that I was the first person to challenge him. You know how many households that I grew up around that if somebody would have dared to insult the woman of the house like that, they would have knocked that child's teeth fucking out. Now, I'm not a fan of physical abuse in any way, but I'm also not a fan of just letting children walk all over the fucking parents either. There has to be something in between. Okay. But hell no, down here in Louisiana, let somebody try to call a mama stupid. Pop. They wouldn't done that shit but one motherfucking time. One motherfucking time, and they probably would ended up in the fucking hospital. Again, I don't support that shit because I got beat and hit for not even doing anything when I was a kid. I do not support hitting children, but I'm just saying what would have happened if somebody would have tried that bullshit down here. So the ex is able to literally verbally insult his mother and mean it in the meanest way possible, and nobody in the family says anything. Okay. So then what happens? You're training your child that this is the right way to approach life. The inaction is just as worse as negative action. So now, and again, this is a microcosm for a lot of problems. All of my exes were these same type of ew. I use the word my. Ugh, I take no ownership of them. Puke, where's my vomit bucket? Gross. All of those motherfuckers. Thank God we can always rewrite things in the spirit. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Are all like grown ass immature man children. Where the fuck did this shit start? Oh, man babies running around insulting their mothers and shit. Girl, bye. Who the fuck does that? And but yeah, but somebody trained them that this is an acceptable way to go out and deal with people. And so now I'm the first voice saying, no, that's not right. They looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. No, I'm not. And so in terms of paying attention, like I said, I couldn't save the ex. And there's nothing that I could, and I don't really just talk to people like one on one anymore, because so many people that I talk to give advice to wouldn't go do anything fucking with it. So I couldn't do anything with those damn people, but at least we can learn from this shit. And I'm also grieving, not grieving, but let's let out some shit that fucking, I use this podcast for fucking therapy. When I started it, I didn't think that this was an unexpected benefit. I didn't think that it would make me feel good to share, you know? I don't know if that seems naive or maybe I should have seen that, but I just didn't anticipate it. But it I don't know, it feels like I'm having a conversation with the whole world when I talk, and it really, really helps to lift me up on the inside. So the ex would tell me how he would so, like, they're in Snellville, Georgia, that's like a good 45 minutes to an hour from, like, downtown Atlanta. He would go onto apps or whatever, find people to sleep with, however the fuck he would, go down there, get hotel rooms to sleep with these people, never tell anybody where he was going or what he was doing. He'd go to Walmart around the fucking corner when really he was going to sleep with someone. Unnecessary, for all the limitations of his family, they have very verbally open from what I observed. So sex is not a topic that's taboo, in the ex's house. But what you had was somebody with growing dark psychological profiles who was choosing to lie when they did not have to. So he would lie and tell his family he was going to Walmart, but really he was going to go pop in bed with some dude when he could have just said, I'm going to go sleep with somebody. Here's the address in case I don't make it back or wherever this is where I was. Narcissists don't care for boundaries. That's something that I've learned in my research. You can just take boundaries, respect, discipline, and restraint, ball it up, light it on fire, and throw it out the fucking window. That they could give two shits about transparency, restraint, or going without whatever it is they decided they have to have. Now, somebody tell you they go in a Walmart, bitch, and they gone for like 30 minutes to an hour in a small ass country town like Snellville, and they come back with like one thing from the store. Do we really have to tell you that they went some other fucking where? It's so shit like this, y'all. When you have these fucking incongruencies, the shit that don't add up with your children, command from them what the fuck they doing. This is the ex choosing to lie, back not against the wall. Nobody's pressing him. No stress. Every option on the table, and he chose deception. He only grew to become a worse deceiver. So a part of the anger that I dealt with was, had this shit been caught before he met me or when he was younger, could I have avoided the bullshit? Could I have avoided the searing fucking pain in my mind, body, heart, and soul that I had to deal with being in a relationship with him, and even worse, to disentangle myself from that fucking evil. Okay? Just my thoughts. We all responsible for our own fucking shit. Um, but I'm still pondering, to what extent is parents and community responsible for creating the world's serial killers and shit? Be it Dahmer, Bundy, who the fuck ever, you know, because you study these people. It's not like they were like 30, 40-year-old people and suddenly they were crazy. Like this shit grew. It fucking grew with them over time. And look, I didn't know what the fuck. I'm feeling like I need to say this again. I didn't know to what extent the ex's psychosis was or how crazy he actually fucking was. I had heard enough stories about people being murdered and shit by insisting upon staying with narcissistic ass people that I felt like my physical fucking life was in danger. Okay. That is no way to live. Okay, and I wasn't going to live like that. And so I knew that he was fucking unstable. To what extent? Who the fuck knows, that he would never tell the truth. I will not deal with a variable like that. Hell no. Too many of y'all are willing to negotiate with the devil. What was that? Is that Demi Lovato's song? Fuck, I think it's her. Dancing with the Devil. She's saying, God, please forgive me for dancing with the devil. Honey, I danced with the devil, and thank God I made it out with my life, my mind and shit. Actually, God had to give me a new life, a new mind, a new heart, a new body, That's what these tattoos represent. Never fucking had tattoos till yesterday. Okay. This is a new thing because I needed a new body, a new time, a new town, a new every fucking thing. Okay. Because I died, I went down, but the Lord created me completely new. And so you all who are trying to there's somebody in my family right now who I fucking wish would leave a narcissist, and I cannot get her to do it. And so I challenged her, I explained the shit. I told her the dreams that I've had about her situation, and she won't go. And so I can only do my part, and my part is to preach and speak. And I know a lot of people out there want me to shut my mouth. Bitch, I'm not going to. I'm going to say what I'm going to say because you're going to do what the fuck you going to do any damn way. And so I'm not going to upset God by not doing what Ezekiel 33 told me to do, which was to say what I hear. You all who are trying to negotiate with these narcissists and these sociopaths, stop, bitch. There is no negotiation. The only thing that you need to be negotiating is your exit strategy. You can't go to couples counseling with these people. You can. I tried that shit twice. Don't work. They do nothing but you're just giving them a stage to perform. Leave them crazy ass people alone while you still have your life in your hands, bitch. Stop trying to play with them. You know, even though we don't bear responsibility, I just think about all the damn people, that the ex just went and stepped on. That dude that he gave COVID to, the way he just so casually referred to him like, just saying he didn't care anything about him. Like, dude could be like dead. I mean, like, for him to be that casual about it means he's been doing this shit for years. Okay. Just walking over people, stepping on people, not caring about them. All these fucking problems and shit started when he was young. And then he just went out into the world and just began to wreak havoc on souls. Soul rapist, energy vampires, whatever you want to call them. When I have my child, I can't he gonna be responsible for his own things, but damn it, he's gonna have warnings beyond warnings, and we're gonna have us some spiritual conversations and shit. I just it's hard for me to I accept this, but it still angers me and it makes me want to take my fucking reading glasses out, bitch. When I look at the way some of these teenagers and these children turn out, and the parents are just sitting there letting this shit happen and not even challenging them or saying anything, I'm just like, all I know, this evil wasn't incubated in a fucking vacuum somewhere. It grew right there in the whole family. And from Dahmer to the ex to whoever. And so hopefully somebody will listen to this and actually start having uncomfortable conversations with your children. I had an adult tell me that like they're gonna have to have an uncomfortable conversation. Bitch, but you're the parent. And I'm trying to understand because y'all know I'll talk about everything from my asshole, dick, whatever, felonies. I know, fuck it is what it is. Being homeless, shitting on the street, whatever. Okay, well, I guess I'm trying to accept the fact that some people are not that comfortable. Okay, but if you have a child, I don't see how you have the luxury to be uncomfortable about talking to them about something. Because whatever it is you're uncomfortable talking to your kid about, somebody else will be comfortable talking to them about, and they're probably going to give them the wrong fucking advice. Because a lot of these fucking people out here are taking advice from the wrong motherfucking people. From the wrong motherfucking people. That ex of mine in particular was notoriously bad at picking the wrong damn people. I always questioned his judgment of people, but fuck, I was with him, so my judgment questioned too. But there was no rubric, there was no standard. It's almost like the person was nice enough. He would say shit like he didn't think that they didn't have a reason to hurt him, or he didn't have a reason to not trust him. Yeah, he didn't have a reason to not trust him, and I would try to tell his dumb ass, his dumb stupid ass, like, "Boy, people don't have to have a reason to hurt you." All they have to do is just be angry enough. Just like the people he went and gave COVID to, they trusted him. He didn't have a reason to hurt them. Those were innocent people. They shouldn't have been hoeing around on fucking Grinder, but besides that, like, they didn't give the ex a reason to go and potentially kill them with a deadly fucking virus, okay? And yet he takes his dumb ass out there and meets people he barely knows thinking that they're not going to hurt him. Oh, yes, they will. And that goes and that goes to anybody out there playing the damn game. You might not have been a drug dealer or hung out with, like, meth cooks and fucking Aryan Nation and shit like me, but y'all are playing just as dangerous of a game with your life. It's just packaged differently. The difference is I can confess that the shit I did was wrong and exactly who, what, when, where, why. You are still trying to compromise and act like the life you're living is totally pristine when bitch is filthy as fuck.